Hello, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the outcomes of World War II, and we're going to start our Cold War unit. So, the post war outcomes in Europe. So, the end of World War II found the Soviet Union forces occupying most of Eastern and Central Europe and the eastern portion of Germany. Germany was partitioned, which means split into East and West Germany, as was its capital city of Berlin. So Berlin is the city of capital, or is the capital of Germany. And as you can see, Germany was split into two. There was East and West Germany, and then Berlin was split as well. There was a West Berlin and East Berlin. West Germany and West Berlin were under American, French, and British control. After a few years, they became democratic, and the US, French, and British left. East Germany and East Berlin remained under the domination of the Soviet Union and did not adopt democratic institution. They assumed communist rule under the Soviet Union. So East Germany and East Berlin became communist, and West Germany and West Berlin became democratic. This kind of shows a map of Europe right here. You can see Germany was split in half. East Germany was communist. West Germany is democratic. All of these green countries were democratic. All these red countries became communist. And now we're going to talk about Asia. And following its defeat, Japan was occupied by American forces. It soon adopted a democratic form of government, resumed self-government, and became a strong ally, which means friend of the U.S. So they had their own government. After World War II, they became democratic. The United States left, and they become friends with the United States. So now we're going to talk about the rest of the world. And Europe lay in ruins. It was destroyed. You guys saw lots of photos. There was bombs in World War II. A lot of the fighting was in Europe. Cities were destroyed. And the United States launched what's called the Marshall Plan, which provided massive financial aid, which is money to rebuild European economies and prevent the spread of communism. So the U.S. gave money to countries to help rebuild after the war. They also did not want communism to spread. So we're giving money to these countries that are struggling because we didn't want communism to come in. That's the Marshall Plan. Yeah, Marshall Plan. And after World War II, the United Nations was formed near the end of World War II to create a body for the nations of the world to try to prevent future global wars. There was already a World War I, there was a World War II. So they created the United Nations. And the United States became one of the 5 key members of the United Nations Security Council. So they're in charge of preventing wars. So the United Nations was built. This is where countries get together and they try to figure out problems. They try to solve things before there's ever a need to fight. So it's to prevent future global wars, to prevent a World War III. All right, this was a very quick unit. You guys are going to flip your page over and you're going to watch the next video. If you have any questions, let me know.